super excited to do this Astro Toe reading for you. Just looking at these cute toes and a couple of things. First of all, left foot is your internal self. It's the way that you relate to yourself and to spirit. Right foot is about the external self, all the way that you relate to people outside of you and how people experience you. Your big toes signify on the left foot, it is your spirit path, and on your right foot, it's your life path. Second toes are communication and expression. Third toes are action. Fourth toes are relationships. Fifth toes are prosperity and trust, either internally focused or externally focused. So when I look at these toes, one of the first things that I notice is the large space that you have here between your first and second toes. So what that indicates is on your left foot, this is your path of intuition, your channel of intuition. So you are hugely intuitive, absolutely very accurate in your intuition, and is a gift. Like, we're talking seer levels of intuition for you. So really lean into and hone that gift. Trust your intuition. It is right on. And then this space here, this is your leadership, your channel of leadership. And so you are most definitely a leader. Now, when we look at what we've got going on with the nails, and the nails are the first place that changes occur in our toes. And so when we look at this, the nails, I know you told me that you had the gel on it. So I'm not going to look necessarily at the peeling, but what I am looking at is the shape of the top of these toes. And so when we look at both of these toenails, they're both kind of facing out, looking towards the future. The toes themselves, a little bit less so, although they are doing it a little bit here at the top. So this is coming back to present. And I know that you have a lot of present-centered rituals and activities that you bring into yourself. So continue to do this. And then something that you can also do to just even up level what you're already doing is just gently massage these toes. I like to do it right before I go to bed, but whenever works for you, to just gently massage these toes. And as you do, pushing slightly out here at the top of these toes. So stabilizing down here with one hand and then gently pushing across the top, and just inviting the energy to track in more presence. I think also, since we've got your chart here, since you have so much Pisces energy, Pisces can struggle with staying in their bodies, being present in their bodies. So it might not even be a lack of presence as much as a working on being more grounded, working on being in your body. And so that is something that is really going to help you in your life and in your spirit path. Now, when we look at your life path toe, we see that, just for contrast, and remember, there's no good or bad, there's no comparison, but we do want to look for reference points around for each other in this contrast. And so when we look, excuse me, I'm having some energy. It's your energy, and it's clearing. In this life path toe. So I know that this is a place that you have been stretching and growing and deciding. And so watch this toe. You've got this picture here. Take a picture in a couple of weeks, in a month, in 6 months, and just look and see, has this toenail grown out a little bit and just become a healthier looking toenail? So interesting that I'm having so much energy clearing. This is one thing that I see all the time with toe readings, is from the moment you sent this picture of your toes and you knew that you were having this reading, things started shifting energetically for you. And now the energy is being seen, and so it can be cleared. So I'm going to be very curious to see, what does this toenail look like in a couple of weeks and in a month as you get more clear and more established, leaning on this intuition and really claiming your authority, claiming your leadership in this space. But generally, very, very good. Just something to look for. All right, when we look at these second toes, these are your communication toes. So I really, generally speaking, these toes are very, very nice. They are very straight. You've got a little bit of a lean, again, looking towards the future. I think that this is your Pisces energy. This is your Pisces energy that wants to just be so expansive and sometimes not spend time in this physical, three-dimensional world and in this physical body. So again, coming into presence and being very present with your words. Are you speaking in the present tense? When you're asking source or thanking source for something, is it in the present or is it future or past based? And I know that looking to the future has been something that over the last few years, as you've gone through some very major life transitions, that hope for the future is something that has just kept you going, kept you waking up in the morning, kept you with your beautiful positive attitude. And now that things are getting a little bit more established, because you do show high potential for grounding in these big toes. They're nice, they're round, they're flat on the ground. So that's awesome. It's just this future looking. So what I would recommend is this kind of the same action that you've got on these big toes here, is just stabilizing here and then just running your finger up and just inviting this energy to track in a more straight way. So what I'd like to see is these two toes just kind of shifting a little bit more towards the center line so they're a little bit straighter. Just a little bit here, wondering, what have you said to yourself in the past? And is that some things that you need to release? Just be aware of what you have said to yourself in the past. What have you believed about yourself in the past? And then clearing and releasing that energy out would be very beneficial for you. Just looking at just a little bit of callousing here, where you've protected yourself perhaps from things that you've said in your past, and self-betrayal in the way that you've expressed in the past. When we look here at your action toes, if you look, they are actually like your straightest toes. They're straight, they move forward, and you've got this little bit of a point on it. When you look at your other toes, your life and spirit path toe, very, very round, your communication toe, round to flat, and your action toes got this point on it because you are an action taker. These are also very healthy nails, like a large nail bed and coming all the way to the end of your toe. So keep up the good work. You are absolutely an action taker. When we look at this, your Mars is in Sagittarius. The way you take action is very, very fiery. And so continuing to just move forward with that action, especially some of the actions that we've talked about in this reading of getting a little bit more present and in your body, especially when it comes to your communication expression and in your spirit and life path toes, especially your life path toes. And that's the gifts of Pisces are so many, including this beautiful intuition. And because you've got so much Pisces energy, it can get out of balance. So lean on some of your fire energy, your Mercury here in Aries and your Mars in Sagittarius, leaning into that to create just a little bit more balance for you. your relationship toes. You do have some blocked energy in these relationship toes, and they're curving towards your action toes. Not overly so, and not in a concernedly so way. Just be aware of, in your relationships with yourself and with others, are you doing or are you being? Is the relationship something that you do, or is it part of your life? With that Pisces energy, the boundaries can be so blurry. So using that Mars Sagittarius and the Aries Mercury to create some more boundaries around what relationships work for you and what ones don't. Are you ever stuck in martyrdom or that kind of energy? And just shifting that. To release this energy, simply by recognizing it today, I can feel the energy shifting already in that. And then again, when you do massage on your toes, do it with the intent of releasing the blocked energy in these toes, and to create stronger, more empowering relationships for everyone involved in the relationship. You're releasing more energy. Whew, you are releasing energy. And I know that we are energetically tied together in our relationship. So I'm honored to be a part of this journey and in this releasing. When we talk about your one other thing that's showing up for me right now is some blocked energy right here in this action toe. This was at a midpoint in your life. So just take where you are now, divide it in half. Around that point in your life, in what ways did you feel like you could not take the action that you desired? Or did you feel like you were not taking action in a way that aligned with your soul? And by massaging that, you can ask that toe that question. What is this energy? Because it really does want to be released. So same motion as I did with this one, just a little bit of massage on that with the intent of releasing that energy. This one does really want to be seen. I feel like with your relationship toes, these are toes that there's just some energy in there, and it's been seen now and it can be released. This particular one wants to be seen and identified specifically. So it could be a specific event. It could be a specific energy of self-compromise that was happening in the first half of your life, and perhaps coming to a culmination point at that halfway point in your life. And when you do this, when this energy is released, it's going to allow you to really move forward with more directed action, with more clarity in your action, and in a way that feels like you're not on a hamster wheel or on a treadmill, but in a way that feels like you are getting from point A to point B, and enjoying both the process and the outcome of whatever you're involved in. Okay, let's look at your trust and prosperity toes. Both of them represent trust and prosperity. And when we and left and right, left trends a little bit more towards trust, and right a little bit more towards prosperity, although there's messages to be found around both of those themes in both of these toes. Now, when we look, these are actually the toes that have the most amount of blocked energy in them. So, and also it looks like perhaps you've injured or broken these toes. So let's talk about the prosperity toe first. There was a significant emotional event for you that's happened in the second half of your life relatively recently. And there is some blocked energy in here. And I'm feeling like this is the energy of shame. So lean into where is a place that you feel shame. Now remember, when we look at your chart, you've got this Scorpio energy. You came into this life, this is your self node, with some generational and past life shame. Part of your destiny in this life is to release that shame. Shame is the lowest vibrating feeling that we are aware of. So releasing this past life and generational shame. Also, you've got Pluto here in Scorpio in the first house. And so this is about transforming. This is part of your identity. What you came into this life with is part of your identity and indeed part of your fortune as you transcend it. So identifying these places where you have felt shame and then doing the work, and you know how to do the work. So in your toolkit, find what is the right tool for this particular shame that needs to be released. And when you release that shame, you're going to open up the channel of prosperity to you in a really beautiful, beautiful way. So releasing, this is the blocked energy that I'm seeing right here. And for this, I would recommend getting like some oil with some essential oils in it. And I'm feeling something like sage or Ravensara or eucalyptus, something very cleansing. Blend that with a citrus and just gently massage this toe, releasing that shame. And this may or may not be shame that you need to identify. There are some things that are going to come up when it comes to shame, but not all of it needs to be seen. Some of it can just be kind of swept up and swept out in that process. And then when it comes to trust, so again, just for contrast, this toe has a lot of blocked energy, but it's also significantly longer than this toe. And so trust is a big theme for you. Interestingly, that's also a Scorpio theme. So just identifying who are my friends and my allies. Who can I trust? Your allies you can trust because your allies are always your friends. But your friends are not always your allies. There's a lot of different levels of both of those categories of people, if you will. So your friends can be fun people to hang out with, fun people to do things with, people that you enjoy being with in certain circumstances. And your allies are the people who have your back. They're the people that if you came and you said, I just made $100,000 last month, there would only be absolute joy. There would only be absolute support and gratitude for you. There would be no jealousy, no comparison, none of that stuff. These are your allies. These are your allies. Your allies are the people who, if you mess up in a relationship and you come back and you apologize and you go through a forgiveness and transcendence and gratitude process, that they hold space for you as you personally grow. Friends don't always do that. And it doesn't mean that they're not friends. They're just where they are in their friendship. Allies tend to be people that are on a similar location in their spiritual development with you. Okay, that was a lot of words. I hope you got some value from that. But you identifying who are your friends, who are your allies, and then just having them be in the work with the moon subscribers area. There is a meditation in there called Houses of Relationship, or the house of your relationship. Go in there, and there's a real nice meditation that compares our relationships to a house, and where people are, where they're invited to be in that house. And there are some people that are absolutely welcome to be in this house of your relationships, and they're like form a living room and front yard porch kind of friends. And then you've got your allies, who are the people that you'll let into the messier spaces of your home, of relationships. So just test that out. This toe could use some love to just release the times when you haven't trusted or when you've been too trusting. And I feel like with that Pisces energy, that might be it, where you've been betrayed because you trusted, when you self-betrayed because you trusted someone outside of you. So just releasing that energy, it's going to really help you on your life path. Let's just look at a couple of other things in your chart. So first of all, the whole fact that you've got the Scorpio energy in your first house and then on your second house cusp, this confirms this channel of intuition here. Your Libra rising, just these relationships are so important to you. Relationships of equality, so important to you. And I think that that's a place where these toes, even though these relationship toes, even though I know you've gone through some challenging relationship dynamics, you just keep going. You just keep going and are open to trusting again. You're part of fortune. This correlates with this prosperity toe. And this is in your first house. This is part of your identity. So having the prosperity, whatever that looks like, health, money, relationships, those things in place really helps you thrive in your being, thrive in your identity, thrive in your leadership. I know that you are involved in the transformation business, and this is indeed a part of your identity and a part of your leadership. When you are with people who are transforming and who you are guiding through a transformation, it indeed fills your soul. Make sure you're having fun. Make sure that you're having joy. This is some of this action. Make sure that it's not all in this action and in your business or in tasks, and that it's also in having fun. You've just got this moon and Jupiter right next to each other in the fifth house of joy, creativity, and fun. So really honor that need, that non-negotiable emotional need of yours to have fun. And we've talked about your midheaven, but I want to just reiterate here for that. Your midheaven going into Cancer, this is another place of this intuition and also the relationships. Cancer is the mother. So Cancer people need to feel like they have close ties with their people. This comes to the friends and allies part of the reading. Is there anything else? Making sure that your relationships are relationships where you can fully express yourself in all of your goddess glory. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I've really enjoyed doing it for you.